Hello everyone, this is Bbeltdan again. Before we go into the regular episode that I would normally do, I just wanted to kind of touch bases and give you a bit of an update. As I was going along and modeling this thing, everything was not lining up. It seems like that the more I tried to get things lined up, the more wonky that the ship started looking, and nothing was really kind of adding up. So I went ahead and restarted again. Like they say, hopefully three times the charm. But this time I went ahead and I tried a technique that I found on the internet, and I'll post a link to the video in the description so y'all can go watch this too. But the video showed me how to, in Blender, properly line up a camera using just a picture. And I'll kind of briefly touch up on that real quick. If we go into a camera mode, you can see what I did and let me go ahead and get rid of. All right, what I did is I took the picture that I had for the reference, and what I started doing using the nacelles primarily and the center strip of the body of the main hull as reference, I started putting in what they call these perspective lines of perspective, where if you follow them back, eventually they come into a point where they intersect. And where they intersect, that is where the horizon is at. So what I went ahead and did is I drew the lines lining up the nacelles, and if you can zoom in right here, you can see there are some lights right here on the primary hull that I lined a third line up on, getting the lines of perspective that I needed to eventually where they all met up to this location, and right here was the horizon. So what I went ahead and done, now I drew the horizon wrong because the ship is flying in this weird angle, so the horizon is actually going to be more of a diagonal. But what I went ahead and did in Blender is if I can find them, here we go. What I went ahead and did is I put in two primitives into the scene. First I put in this plane. It's just a flat plane, and as you can see that represents the horizon. So I moved the camera around until the horizon became flat and it lined up with the horizon that I drew on the screen. This seems to all intersect with this, so that's fine. Then I drew in or added in this rectangle here, and I extended the one side all the way out beyond the grid to kind of give that perspective. Now see, it is just a regular, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it is just a regular rectangle. I mean, it's not tapered towards the end. This tapering effect is strictly just because of the perspective. And I drew this, and I once again messed with the camera angle, primarily with the, let me go ahead and select the camera, with the focal length, shift, X and Y coordinates, until I got it to where that this cube here lined up perfectly with these perspective lines. So after I went ahead and did that, and everything looks like it's working very well, this is longer than that one. That's why this line doesn't quite match up, I assure you. But once I got this all set up, then I started redoing the model because the original saucer wasn't going to work. So, and what I eventually got was this right here. Let me go ahead and do a render here so y'all can see it. And there you go. And for the most part, it does seem like it is matching up fairly well to the reference photo that we got. I mean, I don't know if y'all could see it very well here, but saucer section seems to be lining up very well. Have some issues trying to get all of these to line up. I might have to toy around with that, but I mean, the body's lining up fairly well. The nacelles are lining up fairly well, and they're both disappearing along that same line of perspective. They're both, I mean, they're both parallel to each other, as you can see from this top view here. So, yeah. So everything looks like it's working fine. Even the body, if you remember this main hull, the last episode, it seemed like that I had to get it to where, I mean, it was kind of coming up in an angle. Well, now it's flat. So it's matching up with the reference photo and it is flat. So everything's looking good at this moment. I believe I do have that. So once again, I mean, the trick that I used said it's on the web. I'll be happy to go ahead and link that up or give you the video description down at the bottom link if you want to go view it yourself. But yeah, it's pretty much easy and straightforward to do for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this model, see if I can get it caught back up to where I was last at, maybe a few extra additional details. I'm already started working on the deflector dish, and I'll cut back in when I get some progress, and we'll continue working from there.